just I invite you to relax into a bit more of a gentle pace this morning. Of course, you are so welcome to dial things up or down as always, as you see fit. And please remember, child's pose is there for you whenever you need it. When you're ready, please come to the top of your mats and take a few lovely, long, slow shrugs of the shoulders. And take a few movements of the head and the neck. So just noticing how that whole shoulder and neck joint complex has arrived with you on the mat this morning. And can you also please open and close your mouth really slowly, feeling into the jaw, and maybe wiggle the jaw from side to side. We're going to move into a few maneuvers just to help gently awaken everything for us. So the first maneuver, our good old 3-phase maneuver. Please make a fist with your left hand and pop that under your chin. Anchor the chin down firmly against the fist and lift the collarbones brightly. And now cradle the occiput, the curve of the skull, not the back of the head and not the neck. And keeping the shoulders relaxed and the breath moving, just holding there, and continue pushing the chin down, lifting the heart up, and push the back of your head against your right hand. It's just enough to start having a little conversation with the fascia at the base of the skull, the back of the neck. If you're very bound up, you might even feel it between the shoulder blades or even lower. Now just holding it there, and hold, and hold, and hold. Now relax the arms and again move the head and neck really slowly. Slow, smooth, sincere articulations of the joints in the neck. And we'll take another round of the 3-phase. So again, fist with the left hand under the chin, chin down, chest up, cradling the occiput in the right hand. And holding there as you breathe, keeping the shoulders relaxed, chin down, chest up, pressing the head against the right hand, and hold, and hold, and hold. Good. Relaxing the arms back down to your side. And once more, just moving the head and the neck very carefully. Good. Moving into our next maneuver now, the silent scream. So we'll make a fist with the right hand, pop that under the chin. And we're wanting to create a feeling here as though the chin is driving up, or sorry, the fist is driving up, the chin is driving down. And holding that without any tension, please open your mouth as wide as you can. Fist up, chin down, mouth open wide. Keeping the breath moving and the shoulders relaxed, and holding, and hold, and hold. Good, and relax. And now again, move the jaw, open and close the mouth, give the jaw a little bit of a wiggle. These maneuvers might seem a bit strange, but I promise that they are really valuable in terms of signaling the whole body to start to move well for us. Good. And now when you're ready, please come to Samasthiti, feet together, or if your lower back or your hips are demanding a wider foundation, you can of course take those feet a bit wider, but lift up the toes, spread them, and plug the toes back down into the earth. Turning the palms of the hands to face forward and subtly sliding the shoulder blades closer to one another behind you. And allow yourself to just arrive here, feeling that connection to the earth through the soles of the feet. Let's take a few rounds of our reset breath. When you're ready, please exhale as completely as you can. Taking a big boisterous inhale through the nose, holding on to that, taking a second top up nasal inhale, and now exhale through the mouth slowly. Good. Again, big nasal inhale. Hold on to that, topping it up. Exhale slowly through the mouth, even pursing your lips so that the exhale has to become very slow, like you're blowing out through a straw. Please take 2 more rounds of your reset breath on your own. And when you are ready, bring the tongue to rest against the ceiling of the mouth and come to meet your breath. Moving the breath slowly and smoothly in and out through the nose, and encouraging the ribs and the belly to move really freely with the breath. Now, if you are recovering from an upper respiratory issue, as I know many of you are this week, you might find the nasal breath to be a little bit challenged. So you can, of course, breathe through the mouth if you absolutely need to. And what you might notice as the practice progresses is that your nose will start to become progressively runnier as the heat that we produce via our movements and our breath starts to melt that kapha dosha. So please feel free to have some tissues nearby. Use them as you need throughout the practice. When you're ready, exhale completely. Let the face soften. And inhale, picking up the arms, let the palms meet above the head and take the eye gaze up. Softening the knees, folding forward into a standing forward bend. Really nice and gentle. Encouraging the torso to drape heavily over the legs. Fingertips resting gently on the earth. A little tuck of the chin so that you feel the neck is elongated. And when you're ready, please creep your hands and fingers over to the carpet or floorboards on the right side of the mat. Keeping the knees soft, think about sending your left hip crease back in space and wrapping the left rib cage down toward the mat so that we're really accessing the lower back on the left-hand side, the outside of the left hip. Keep sending that left hip back, wrapping the left rib cage down. On an inhale, creeping yourself back through center. And exhale, taking yourself over to the left side of the mat, all the way onto the carpet or floorboards, feeling the neck is nice and long. And on this side, sending your right hip back, wrapping and rolling the right rib cage down toward the earth. Feeling into the lower back, on the right-hand side, into the right hip. Keep sending that right hip back and wrapping the right rib cage down. On an inhale, please creep everything back through center, nice and easy. And on the next exhale, drape yourself even more heavily over those soft legs. Root down through the feet, let the tailbone drop and round up and roll up as slowly as you can, really articulating through each of the segments of the spine as you move. Arriving to stand, arms at your side, soften the face. Inhale, picking up the arms, palms meet above the head, gazing up. Right hand takes left wrist, lift the rib cage high. And as you exhale, take a side bend over to the right. Let the next inhale bring you back through center, changing wrist grips, and exhale, leaning up and over to the left. Inhale back through center, changing wrist grips again, leaning up and over to the right, holding here. Please tuck your chin and look down toward that right armpit. Spread the fingers of your left hand and deliberately spin the palm of your left hand to face the ceiling. Keep sending the left hip forward in space And on an inhale, pick up that left armpit a little bit higher. Exhaling, use the right hand to guide yourself over just a fraction further into the side bend. Let the next inhale bring you back through center. Palms meet, gaze up to the thumbs. And as you exhale, fold forward, let the knees bend really generously, sweeping the arms behind you, picking up an interlace of hands and fingers, or maybe just hooking the thumbs against each other. Thinking about pressing belly to thighs, chest to knees, and inviting the forehead toward the space between your shin bones, squeezing the shoulder blades together and inviting your arms to travel away from the back body, keeping the neck and skull relaxed. When you're ready, unhook the thumbs or release the interlace of hands and fingers. Come into your heavy forward draped fold. Root down through the feet. Let the tailbone drop and round up and roll up as slowly as you can. Arriving, exhale, palms face forward. Inhale, picking up the arms, palms meet above the head and gazing up. Left hand takes right wrist, lift the rib cage high, and as you exhale, take your side bend over to the left. Holding here, please tuck your chin, look down toward that left armpit, spreading the fingers of the right hand and spinning the palm to face the sky. On an inhale, picking up that right armpit, lifting it a little bit higher in space, and as you exhale, leaning across to the left a little bit further. And as you inhale, come back through center, palms meet, gaze up to thumbs, and exhale, folding back forward. Again, letting the knees bend deeply, swinging the arms back behind you, and picking up the unfamiliar interlace of hands and fingers, or the opposite hook of the thumb. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, belly to thighs, chest to knees. Let the forehead drop forward toward the shin bones. Invite the arms to travel away from the back body. Keeping the tongue resting against the roof of the mouth and that breath moving smoothly. When you're ready, relinquish the work in the hands and once more drape yourself heavily out over the legs. Fingertips to shin bones. As you inhale, pick up the collarbones, float the heart space forward. Refold as you exhale, hands to the earth, and we'll step the left foot to the back of the mat. Dropping the left knee to the earth. The toes of that left foot can stay tucked or untucked, but lift the chest, shoulders, and ribs to stack above the hips. Take an inhale, reaching the arms forward and up above the head. And exhale, take an interlace of hands and fingers at the back of your head, elbows wide but shoulders relaxed. Can you deliberately press your head against the contact of your hands, keeping the elbows wide? Send your left hip slightly forward in space and lean the chest back. If you're feeling good here with the head pressing against the hands, lifting the chin slightly up. Stay here for an inhale. And as you exhale, carefully twist this shape to the right. Perhaps dipping the right elbow down as you lift the left elbow up. On the next inhale, carefully unravel yourself, reach the fingers back to the ceiling. Exhale, take your hands mindfully to frame the front foot, picking up the back knee off the earth. Inhale, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Exhaling, knees meet the earth, untuck the toes and connect the tops of the feet to the mat. Send the shoulders forward in space. Inhaling, let the pelvis gently descend. Very soft, modified up dog, wiggling the hips from side to side. Please pick up your chin, look up and over the right shoulder, and let the outside of your left hip drop closer to the earth. You might even bend your right knee out to the side so that you can bring more of the outer hip toward the earth. Please come back through center now. Tuck your toes, sink your sit bones back onto your heels and flip up into your wrist and forearm release, rising up high onto the end knuckles of your middle three fingers, driving the wrist bones forward as you sink the sit bones back, seeking out length in the side waists. Feeling the armpits wide. Let the forehead and the heart space sink and feel heavy. Spreading the hands and fingers wide now, look forward. On an inhale, push off the balls of the feet to snake your way onto your belly. Take the elbows out to make room for the shoulders as you arrive, forward on the floor, hands plugged just underneath the shoulders. Bring the big toes to touch and let your heels fall away from one another, carefully plugging the pubic bone down into the earth. On an inhale, please lift just the head. Keep the neck long. Stay here. Exhale, float the hands and feet up off the earth. Stay here. Inhale, feel the whole body lifting a bit higher. And as you exhale, return yourself to meet the earth. Again, inhale, pick up the head. Keep the neck long. Stay here. Exhale, lift the hands and feet. As you inhale, feel the whole body lifting a little bit higher, and exhale, return gracefully down to find the floor. Once more, inhale, picking up the head. Exhale, hover hands and feet. Inhaling, whole body rises a bit higher, and exhale, travel back down. Slide your hands back in line with the ribs, preparing to push up to all fours. Now, as you inhale, find all fours, tuck your toes, and as you exhale, come back into downward facing dog or even child's pose. Please take whatever instinctual movements you would like in this first down dog or child's pose. Perhaps pedaling out the heels or dropping the hips from side to side. When you're ready, come to settle and find stillness, letting the eye gaze drift up just beyond the knees. Feeling the tailbone tipping high. And at the end of your next exhale, just let the rib cage sink and settle. Inhaling, rising high to tip toes. And as you exhale, bend your knees deeply and look forward. Now on the empty breath, please step your left foot forward to the space between your thumbs. Lower the back right knee to the earth and lift the shoulders and ribs to stack above the hips. The back foot can stay tucked or untucked, up to you, but inhale, reaching the arms up. And as you exhale, interlacing hands and fingers at the back of the head, elbows wide, but shoulders relaxed. Pressing your head against the contact of your hands to enliven the neck. Inviting the right hip to roll forward slightly, let the tailbone drop and feel heavy. Leaning the chest back, keep pressing the head against the hands and maybe lift the chin a little bit higher if that feels good. Stay here and inhale. And as you exhale, twist this shape to the left, nice and easy. You might like to tip the left elbow down and lift the right elbow up. Inhale, come back through center, nice and easy, fingers reaching skyward. And as you exhale, take the hands down to find the floor at either side of the front left foot. Pick the back knee up off the earth, inhaling, left foot steps to the back of the mat. Exhale, bring the knees down, untuck the toes, send the shoulders forward, and on the inhale, let the pelvis gently descend. Another little snake-like movement of the hips from side to side. Keep the elbows soft. Inhale, pick up your chin, look up and over your left shoulder, and now take the outside of your right hip closer to the mat, maybe letting the left knee bend so you can really take the outer hip closer to the earth. As you inhale, head, heart, and hips back through center, tuck the toes, and exhale, sink the sit bones back onto the heels. Another round of our wrist and forearm release as you rise up high to the end knuckles of those middle three fingers. This is a very simple shape, so keeping your attention very refined and deliberate here. Try and pick up contact between each of your toes and the mat. Sink the sit bones back as you send the wrist bones forward and let the collarbones and the sternum feel heavy, the armpits wide. Spreading hands and fingers now, take the eye gaze forward, and on your next inhale, push off the balls of the feet to snake your way onto your belly and onto the earth. Arriving here, please take your right arm out in line with the right shoulder, palm on the floor. Inhale, roll onto the outside of your right hip. Pick up the left leg, bend the knee, and bring the foot to rest on the carpet or floorboards behind you. Please make a fist with your left hand and bring your left fist to rest beneath your right temple like a pillow. Bring attention now into the right hand that's behind you on the floor, spreading the fingers of that right hand and plugging down into the palm and the contact points of the forearm, the upper arm. Maybe yawning that bent left knee a little bit wider. On your next inhale, slowly make your way back onto your belly and taking the left arm out now in line with the shoulder, palm on the earth. Inhale, rolling onto the outside of your left hip. Pick up the right leg, bend the knee, and bring the foot to land on the floor behind you. Making a fist with your right hand on this side and bringing that to rest beneath your left temple. Awareness now spreading down the length of your left arm, spreading the fingers and plugging down through the contact points of that limb. Maybe taking the bent right knee a little bit wider. On the next inhale, slowly come back onto your belly. Move the hands back in line with the lower rib cage, preparing to move to all fours. As you inhale, make your way to all fours. And as you exhale, peel back to down dog or child's pose. Once more, creating any natural movements in your body that you feel called to take in this practice. But then come to settle. Checking the tongue, reconnecting with the breath. Allowing the knees to be very slightly softened so that the tailbone can tip high. And at the end of your next exhale, let the rib cage sink and settle. Inhaling, rising high to tip toes, and exhale, knees bend deeply, looking forward. On the empty breath, step or maybe hop gently to the top of the mat. Arriving fingertips to shin bones as you inhale, find your halfway lift and refold slowly on the exhale. Inhale, rise to stand, palms meet above the head, gazing up. And as you exhale, bring your arms down to rest at your sides and pause here for a moment. Try to avoid distraction or fidgeting. Can you be really present with the sensations in your body, even if they are a little bit uncomfortable? Noticing how all of the sensations are temporary, how they are in some way separate from your own self. You are able to witness them. Exhale completely. Inhale, peeking up the arms, palms meet above the head and smile. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Fingers to shins. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, refold, hands to the earth and step back. Left foot, then right foot to high plank. Stay here for one inhale. And as you exhale, travel through your chaturanga or bring your knees to meet the earth. As you inhale, finding your upward facing dog, modified or traditional. And exhale, peeling back to down dog or even landing in child's pose. Now, as you arrive, come to settle and seek stillness straight away. Feeling the tongue against the roof of the mouth, deepening and smoothing the breath as much as you can. At the end of the next exhale, let the rib cage sink and settle. Feel the armpits wide. And now inhale, lifting up high to the tiptoes. And as you exhale, bend your knees deeply. Look forward, but pause here. Can you pin your lower abdomen more deliberately to the upper thighs and lift the tailbone? On an empty breath, step or even hop lightly to the top of the mat. Arriving fingers to shins and inhale to half lift. Let the exhale help you fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, palms meet above the head, gazing up. And as you exhale, we'll bring the arms down and again take a brief pause. Be present with all the sensations in the body. Exhale, bend your knees and tap your fingers past your heels. Inhale, sweeping the arms forward for chair pose. And as you exhale, folding forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, refold. Stepping or hopping the feet back to high plank. Taking an inhale here to prepare. And as you exhale, travel through your chaturanga. Knees on or off the earth as you inhale, finding your version of up dog. And exhale, making your way back into downward facing dog. Seeking stillness in your dog. Please hover your right foot just 1 centimeter off the floor, keeping the ankle flexed and the toes peeling up toward the shin. Take the full length of your next exhale to slowly reach your right heel up toward the ceiling. Keep the hips neutral for as long as you can. And at the top of that inhale, peel the right hip open and exhale, bend the knee. Tuck your chin, look underneath the left armpit and encourage the right knee to lift high, but drop the right armpit closer to the earth, feeling even across the shoulders. On an inhale, rising to tiptoes of the standing left foot, and exhaling, bend that left knee deeply and look forward. On the empty breath, land your right toes just behind the right thumb, setting up for warrior one. Drop the back left heel to the earth. Press down through the feet, strong legs, and inhale, rising to your warrior one. Arriving here, softening the shoulders. Today, keeping the palms shoulder width apart and spinning the pinkies in to face one another. So we're just in warrior one here, Ness. But the enthusiasm is appreciated nonetheless. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Can you encourage a deeper bend in the front knee? Fill out the energy along the outer edge of the back foot and wrap your left rib cage slightly further forward. Now on an inhale, release the back left heel. Find a high lunging position and exhale, take a slow controlled twist to the right. Bringing right hand to rest on the sacrum, tuck the elbow back, turn the palm of the left hand to face the sky and inhale, picking up that left arm, paint a wide arc across space and drop the eye gaze toward the back of the mat. Can you reaffirm the bend in the front knee and reach a little bit more decisively through that lifted left arm? Now inhaling, bring your left hand to land on the floor right under the shoulder. Look at where that left hand has landed. And now transplant your right hand onto the inseam of your right knee. Heel and toe the right foot out wider. And as you push with your right hand against the right knee, let yourself roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, pushing the right knee wide and leaning the chest back away from that bent leg. If this is enough, stay here. If you're craving a little bit more, you could roll onto the outer edge of your left foot and let the outer left hip drop down toward the mat. On an inhale, hands find the earth. Exhaling, right foot steps quietly to the back of the mat. Bring your knees to find the floor. Walk your hands closer in toward you, finding a high kneeling position. Please pick up your block and place it between your legs on its narrowest setting, up nice and high to the tailbone, setting up for a soft Ustrasana this morning. Heels of the hands resting on the lower back. Draw the shoulder blades together and hug that block between the thighs. Push the pelvis forward. Lift the ribs up and away from the lower back and keep your chin dropping down as you actively gaze down toward the chest. Now holding this here, squeeze the block, press the hips forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the ribs up, keep the chin anchored down, tongue against the roof of the mouth. Now, when you're ready, very gently bring the sit bones back to land on the heels. Stay up on the toes if you can. Pop the block out of the way and take a moment to rebound. When you are ready, please make your way back into downward facing dog. As you arrive in your down dog, come to seek stillness. You might notice a pronounced difference between one side of the body and the other. If you're really craving a vinyasa, if you want to flush this out, feel free to take one now. Otherwise, please float your left foot just 1 centimeter off the floor. Keeping the ankle flexed, the toes peeling up to the shin. As you inhale, carefully pick up that left heel, float it up behind you, keeping the hips neutral. And then right at the top of that inhale, peel the left hip open, and exhale, bend the knee. Please tuck your chin, look underneath the right armpit, and on this side, thinking about really lifting that bent knee high, but taking that left armpit closer to the mat. Inhale, rising to tiptoes of the standing right foot. Exhale, bend that knee deeply, look forward, and on the empty breath, land your left toes just behind the left thumb. Drop the back right heel to meet the earth, plug down to the feet, strong legs, and let the inhale lift you to warrior one. Arriving in your warrior one, relaxing the shoulders. Taking a slightly deeper bend in that front knee. Engaging the arch of the back foot by pressing into the outer edge of that foot. Hands shoulder width apart, let the pinkies turn in and the thumbs wing out to make room for the shoulders and the neck. On your next inhale, release the back heel from the earth, find a high lunge. And as you exhale, slow controlled twist to the left. Bringing your left hand to land on the sacrum, tuck the elbow back behind you, turn the palm of the right hand to face the sky. And inhaling, pick up that right hand. Painting a wide arc across space, drop the eye gaze to the back of the mat. A little bit more bend in the front knee and a little bit more active reach through the lifted arm. As you inhale, bring your right hand to land on the mat right under the shoulder. And exhale, heel and toe the left foot out wider, bringing your left hand to the inseam of the leg, the inner knee. As you push that knee wide with the left hand, let yourself roll onto the outer edge of the foot. Lean the chest away from the bent knee, maybe even rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot here and letting the outer right hip drop low. Inhaling now, left hand finds the earth. Exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Please bring your knees to the floor, walk your hands in, finding your high kneeling position, grabbing your block again, placing it between the legs. Heels of the hands resting on the rear shelf of the pelvis, setting up for Ustrasana. Keep squeezing the block, send the hips forward, squeezing the shoulder blades, lift the rib cage up and drop the chin down low. Be content with exploring this very manageable, safe, and well-distributed back bend. Squeezing the block, sending the hips forward, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the ribs up and keeping the chin down, looking to the chest for 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, bring the sit bones to land on the heels calmly. Stay up on the toes if you can. Pop the block out to the side. Rebounding here, slowing down the breath. Feeling the heart rate start to slow. Making your way back into downward facing dog when you are ready. Settling into your down dog and exploring the little points of subtlety in the shape, the spread of the fingers, the plug down of the fingerprints, the deliberate pressure into the base of the thumbs and index fingers. Actively pushing the floor away from you so that you lengthen the side waists and lift the hips high. That little softness in the knees now enabling you to tip the tailbone high. At the end of your next exhale, let the rib cage sink and settle. Inhale, rising high to tip toes. Exhaling, knees bend deeply and look forward. On the empty breath, step or even hop gently to the top of the mat. Arriving fingers to shins, and inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, refold, a deep bend in the knees, tapping fingers past heels, and inhale, sweep the arms and torso forward to find chair pose. Still inhaling, straighten the knees, look up to the thumbs, and exhale, bring your arms calmly down to your sides. Take a brief pause to be present with the sensations that are rising and falling. When you are ready, please take a wide stance out along your mat and bring one of your blocks along with you for the adventure. We are moving into a lateral flexing shape, but instead of Trikonasana this morning, we're going to work with our Parshva Konasana, which in many ways is a little bit more gentle. So when you're ready, find a warrior two stance. Just navigate your own way to a warrior two on the right-hand side and place the block on its highest setting, just on the little toe side of that right foot. Here in your warrior two shape, we'll take the arms out to the side if they're not already there. And now turn the thumb of the left hand to face the floor. Let the whole shoulder dip forward. Turn the thumb to face the wall behind you. Again, let the shoulder drop down. And then swing the arm in, bend the elbow, and find a half bind in that left arm. Now, just when you think you found that bind, can you relax the left shoulder? Slide the shoulder blade closer in toward the spine. On an inhale, leaning out long over that bent right leg. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to land on the block. Tuck your chin and roll it across your collarbones to take your eye gaze toward your left shoulder head. Find a deliberate push down through the feet and a push down with your right hand against the block beneath it. Letting that push down with the hand create an updraft behind the collarbones. Invite yourself to lean back slightly. A little bit more wrap under of the right rib cage. Send the crown of your head toward the wall behind you and plug down into the outside of that left foot. As you exhale, look down. Let the inhale pick you up. Leave the left arm in half bind, reaching the right arm up and over, reversing this shape. Drop the eye gaze toward the left foot now. And inhale, finding warrior two. As you exhale, release your right knee. Swivel on the heels to find parallel feet and pick up an interlace of hands and fingers behind you. We're preparing to fold forward into Prasarita Padottanasana C. So if you feel like you need to bring the feet a bit closer together, now is a good time to do that. And encourage your feet now to be slightly pigeon-toed. So turn the big toes in just a little bit so that you can now access that sensation of attempting to squeeze the heels closer together, lighting up the legs. Draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift the chin, gaze up and fold forward slowly on an exhale. Take your time. Try to avoid rocking the weight back into the heels or locking the legs out straight. Can you invite a bit more weight into the balls of the feet and the toes? Allow the knees to soften so you can tip the tailbone high. Shoulder blades draw a bit closer together as you take the arms further away from the back body. Carefully relinquish the interlace of hands and fingers. Keep the head down low for now, hands on the hips. Elbows pointing up toward the sky, lifting just the chin and pause. Come to stand slowly on an empty breath, a neutral breath. As we set up for our Parshva Konasana on the left-hand side, finding your warrior two stance on the left leg, placing the block on its highest setting next to the little toe side of the foot. Inhale, arms out in line with the shoulders if they're not there already. And now exhale, turn the right thumb to face the floor. Give it another turn to face the wall behind you, feeling the whole shoulder has moved forward. And then swing the arm in, bend the elbow, and find your half bind in the right arm. Now relax that right shoulder head, sliding the right shoulder blade even closer to the spine. Stay here for an inhale, maybe picking up the rib cage, and exhale, take a long lean out over the left leg, bringing your left hand down to find the block. Tuck your chin and roll it across your collarbones as you look for your right shoulder head in your peripheral vision. Now finding the plug down into the feet, the push down with your left hand against the block, spiraling the left rib cage under. Encourage your heart to lean back, sending the crown of the head long toward the wall that is behind it and plugging down into the outer edge of your right foot. As you exhale, look down and let the inhale pick you back up, leaving that right arm in a half bind. Lift the left arm up and overhead. Drop the eye gaze toward the right foot that's behind you. And inhaling, finding your warrior two. As you exhale, straightening the left leg, we're coming in for another round of Prasarita Padottanasana C. Please pick up the unfamiliar interlace of pinkies behind you this time. Of course, if your chest feels really constricted, you can always use your strap between the hands. Finding that sensation of being slightly pigeon-toed in the feet, that hug in of the heels towards each other to light up the muscles in the legs. Take an inhale, lift the chin, gazing up, and let the exhale bring you forward. Keeping a sense of softness in the knees, a little bit more weight into the toes and the balls of the feet. Slow down the breath. Invite the arms to travel just a little bit further. When you're ready, releasing the arms, hands to the hips. Keep the head down low for now, please. Lift just your chin and pause. Rise to stand slowly on an empty breath. And step to the top of your mat. Flushing that out with a slow, smooth Surya Namaskar A. Please exhale completely. Inhale, picking up the arms, palms meet above the head, gazing up and fold forward on the wave of the next exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, refold, hands to the earth, step or hop the feet back to high plank. One inhale here. Exhale, travel through Chaturanga slowly. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. 5 slow, smooth breaths here. At the end of the next exhale, letting the rib cage sink. Inhale, rising to tip toes, and exhale, bend the knees deeply. Look forward on the empty breath, step or hop to the top of the mat. Arriving fingers to shin bones, and inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Let the next inhale bring you back to stand. Palms meet above the head, gaze up and smile. Exhale, bring the arms down alongside you. Moving into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Please establish your eye gaze on a fixed point somewhere in front of you. Hands on the hips, heel and toe your feet out hip width apart, and shift your weight into your left leg to start off with. Bringing your right knee up toward the chest, and now opening up that right hip and leg like a gate, bringing the foot to land either on the inner thigh or the inner calf muscle. Arms out in line with the shoulders will assist with your balance, especially if you spark lots of life into the hands and fingers. And feel yourself really actively pushing your right foot against the contact of the left leg, and let the left leg push back. If you've got your balance, you can bring the palms to meet in front of your heart, or even challenge yourself by lifting the arms above your head. Stay with that intention of pushing the right foot against the left leg and letting the left leg push back. Embracing the wavering of your body. Try not to be stiff or uptight. Taking your hands back onto your hip bones, hugging the right knee in towards your chest deliberately. And now return your right foot to land on the earth. Stay nice and calm now as we shift into the other side, bringing the weight into the right leg, floating the left knee up toward the chest, and then opening out that hip and leg like a gate, guiding the left foot to land either on the inside of the right thigh or the inside of the calf muscle. Arms out to the side to help with your balance. Find the push of the left foot against the right leg, the push back of the right leg against the foot. If you found your balance, experiment with the arms. Keep pressing the left foot against the right leg. Let that right leg push back. Good. Hands to hips. Hug the left knee in towards you. And then calmly bring that left foot to the earth. Now, in your own way, please make your way down onto the floor, onto your back. You might like to vinyasa down. You might like to just sink into a little puddle onto the mat. It's up to you. But please meet me on your back, on the floor, hugging the knees in toward the chest. Bring your feet to land on the earth with the knees bent. We're setting up for Setu Bendasana, a supported bridge pose. To the best of your ability, please feel that your feet are about hip width apart and angle the big toes in just slightly, a little bit pigeon-toed. With the arms resting alongside the body, start by turning the palms of the hands to face the ceiling, and then scoop the lower corners of the shoulder blades up and underneath you, almost as though you're attempting to bring the entire arm up and underneath you. Once you've found that beautiful broadness across the chest and collarbones, turn the palms back onto the earth, fingers spread, and plug down through the hands and arms. Draw your navel in toward your spine and let the tailbone start to curl up toward the space between the knees. On an inhale, lifting the pelvis up, calming into your back bend. Now, as you arrive in what you think is your best back bend, just bring attention into the lower back and the chest. If you instinctively feel like you've got more room, but you just can't quite access it, shuffle the feet a little bit closer to the top of the mat. Are you able to lift the pelvis a little bit higher? If you're feeling pinching in the lower back, shuffle the feet a little bit wider and maybe even allow the toes to turn out toward the tops of the mat rather than in. Have a play. Now, once you find your full expression, turn the palms of the hands to face the ceiling once more, scooping the arms up and underneath you, attempting to land on the triceps, picking up an interlace of hands and fingers and actively pressing the length of both arms down into the earth, keeping the chin lifting slightly away from the chest. The base of the skull rests on the earth, neutral in the neck. Can you soften in the glutes slightly and create a feeling as though you are hugging a block between your knees? When you are ready, release the bind of the hands, palms find the floor, and unravel the spine carefully, the upper back, middle back, lower back, pelvis. Let the knees drop in to rest against one another. Bring the hands onto the belly and take the breath into that space beneath the hands. Now, of course, when we talk about breathing into the belly, there's no such thing. The breath always moves into and out of the lungs, but the emphasis, the movement is on the belly. And just let the lower back soften as you rebound here. You might like now to windscreen wipe the knees from side to side. Good. Please hug the knees in toward you. Rock and roll yourself up carefully until you land in an upright seat. Now, as you arrive in your seat, please come to a cross-legged position with the right shin crossed in front of the left. If you have a happy, healthy half lotus, then you can bring that right leg into half lotus. Conversely, if sitting cross-legged is a real challenge for you, then please sit up on your block, elevate the pelvis so that you make your life a little bit easier in this shape. We're going to bring the back of the left hand to hook the right knee. Fingertips of the right hand rest gently on the floor behind you, or take a bind with that right arm. We've prepared really well for a bind in this shape. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, grow tall, and as you exhale, turn to the right very slowly, letting the eye gaze just drop down temporarily toward the right shoulder. As you tip the right ear down, lifting and shining the left corner of the jawbone up toward the ceiling. Slowing down and smoothing out the breath. On your next inhale, invite yourself to grow even taller. And as you exhale, find a little bit more leverage into the rotation. Keeping everything about this shape exactly as it is, please bring just your head back through center. And now move your head just a few degrees to the left without creating any muscle strain. Keeping your head still, lifting your eye gaze up and to the right, and holding there. If your eyes are protesting, if they keep coming out of focus, just keep bringing them back. Holding there and breathing smoothly. Release the eyes. Release the head and the shoulders. Good. Taking both legs out long in front of you. Folding forward into Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. As always, if you are lucky enough to be holding on to your feet, try not to feel like you're dragging yourself into the shape. Try not to use the chest and shoulders to pull yourself into Pashi. Instead, let there be a gentle toning in the pelvic floor. And from that firm root system in the pelvis, lengthen the spine and grow the crown of the head toward the tops of the feet. As you inhale, picking up just the head, and as you exhale, bring the rest of the torso to find your upright seat. Finding cross-legged position, this time with the left shin crossed in front of the right, or perhaps working in your half lotus if that feels good. We'll bring the back of the right hand to hook the left knee and either bind the left arm or let the fingertips rest lightly on the earth. Take an inhale and sit tall. Exhale, turning to the left. Let the eye gaze just drop down toward the left shoulder. Tilting the left earlobe down as you lift and shine the right corner of the jawbone up. Slow, smooth breaths here. On an inhale, finding more length, more lift in the spine and ribs, and exhale, take the rotation a little bit deeper. And as you inhale, release the head. Stay here. Turn your eye gaze and your head just a few degrees to the right. And now keeping your head very still, lifting the eye gaze up and to the left. Stay with this and breathe slowly. Release the eyes, release the head, and now release the rest of the torso from the twist. Again, taking the legs out long in front of you. Finding another Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Keeping very gently engaged in the pelvic floor. Visualizing the crown of the head growing toward the tops of the feet. As you inhale, release the head and let the exhale bring you back up. Dandasana, staff pose, legs out in front of you, which is all where we should all have landed. Please bend your right knee. And now take your right foot over to the left side of the left leg. We're deepening the twists now, building into them nice and gradually. You might like to bend your left knee as well. Just as always, please make sure that both sit bones are nice and even on the earth. Now we're going to start with an open twist. So please hook the right elbow to the inside of the right knee. Fingertips of the left hand just lightly resting on the earth. And before you begin, really feel both of your sit bones are very equally anchored into the mat. On an inhale, pick up the rib cage, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, use the contact of the right elbow on the inside of the knee to take you into your open belly twist to the left. Even though this is a simple shape, try not to allow your mind to wander. Keep it very present in the subtleties of the shape. Working the right elbow and the right knee against each other to maintain your internal leverage. Keeping the right sit bone anchored down deliberately. Tongue rests against the roof of the mouth, the breath moving smoothly, no space for the mind to wander. Now, as you inhale, please release the head. And as you exhale, unhook that right elbow. Now, just interlacing your fingers around the right shin bone and surrendering your forehead, in fact, aiming to get your hairline down to meet that right knee. Let your shoulder blades really slide away from one another and start to lean the back of the rib cage toward the wall behind you. So we're rounding out through the spine. It can be really lovely in this shape to experiment with pulling gently with the hands against the shin, noticing how that allows you to maybe create even more roundedness in the upper back. When you're ready, coming back to sit tall and now wrapping your left elbow crease around the right shin. Fingertips of the right hand on the floor, or bring that arm into bind. If you're feeling good in your binding this morning, take an inhale sitting tall and exhale, turn to the right. Tipping the right earlobe down as you lift and shine the left corner of the jawbone up. And now please begin to draw some very small, smooth, crescent moon shapes in the air with your chin. Just like you have a piece of chalk stapled to the end of your chin. And start with very definite crescent moon shapes. We're seeking out the occiput on the left side, so the base of the skull on the left-hand side and the tissue in and around the left side of the neck. Keep your movements slow and small and smooth. And as you notice the conversation starting to quieten down in the neck, you might like to take those crescent moon shapes into more rounded and robust semicircles. Sifting through the tissue on the left side of the neck. Carefully release the head, release the shoulders and rib cage, and take both legs out long in front of you, Dandasana, staff pose. Please bend your left leg. Bring that left foot over to the right side of the right leg, and if you like, bend the right knee as well. Before you do anything, feel both sit bones are very evenly anchored into the mat. And now stop sign that left elbow and arm, bringing them to rest to the inside of the left knee. Fingertips of the right hand behind you or arm in for a bind. Inhale, sitting tall, and exhale, turn. Using that relationship between the left elbow and the left knee to take you into the shape. And just letting the eye gaze drop down slightly toward the right shoulder. And remaining really present with the relationship between left elbow and left knee. Deliberately anchoring the left sit bone down. And as you inhale, release the head. As you exhale, unhook the elbow, fingers interlace around that left shin now. Round the spine as you curl the forehead and the hairline forward toward the left knee. Let the whole rib cage round out and roll toward the wall behind you. And experiment with varying degrees of pulling of the hands against the shin. Coming to find your upright seat now, please wrap your right elbow crease around the left shin bone. Fingertips of the left hand on the floor or half binding, inhaling to sit tall and exhale, turn. The eye gaze just down toward the left shoulder. Tipping your left earlobe down as you tilt the corner of the right jawbone up toward the ceiling. Please begin to trace those very small, slow, smooth crescent moon shapes in the air with your chin. This time sensing into the right occiput, the base of the skull on the right-hand side, sifting through the tissue on the right side of the neck. And invite those movements to become a little bit more round if the conversation has died down. Release the head. Release the chest and shoulders. Taking both legs out long, and now please popping your jumpers and socks back on. Making your way onto your back for Shavasana. This week, I will hold you in Shavasana, so please stay with me. Making your way onto your back, and of course, using whatever props you like to support yourself here. It's definitely getting into blanket and sock weather. Now, as you arrive on your back, we'll take 3 rounds of our reset breath. Start with an exhale. Big boisterous inhale through the nose, second top up nasal inhale, and then out through the mouth slowly. 2 more just like that, please, on your own. And then come to settle. Give your body permission to sink and to soften, to surrender into the support of the earth beneath you. Please bring your attention into your feet. Notice the contact of your heels on the earth, the feeling of the air against your skin, or the socks and the weight of the blanket against the feet. Shining the spotlight of your awareness now onto your calf muscles. It's noticing the contact of your calves against the earth. Letting the attention drift up now into the back of the upper legs, the weight of the thighs on the floor. Feel the wide, soft spread of your buttocks. The curve and the contact of the lower back. The curve and the contact of the middle back and the rib cage on the earth. The shoulder blades, the upper back, the spread of the upper arms resting on the mat. The back of the forearms and the back of the hands. Draw your awareness up now into your collarbones. The curve of your neck. And the weight of your skull. The spaces that your eyeballs inhabit as they rest beneath the heavy curtains of your eyelids. There is nothing to do. Rest here. Wait for the sound of my voice to summon you back. Allow your breath to deepen slightly now. As you invite some gentle movements into your fingers and toes. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. And taking a lovely yawn and a stretch. Take your time to carefully roll onto your favorite side. And try not to disturb yourself too much as you make your way to an upright seat. As you arrive in your seat, just remaining for a moment with your eyes closed, present with the feeling in your body after practice. As you float the palms to meet one another in front of your heart, we end our session together with gratitude and acknowledgement as we offer our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health. And even if you are unwell, our thanks to our immune system for protecting us. Our gratitude and acknowledgement to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. And as always, my beautiful friends, lots of love, appreciation, respect, and acknowledgement to you all. I love yous, you glorious snotty creatures. Be well. Let me know how you went today. I know it was a change of pace and direction, but I do what the voices tell me. Have a good one. Bye.